That would be nice.
These people have these ideas like Elizabeth Holmes and all the other ones I mentioned that I got this idea. I'm going to do it. Elon with his ideas on, I'm going to put people in tubes and I'm going to shoot them around. And like the banks used to do with money to the tellers.
Does he say it like
No.
that? Because it seems like I would be claustrophobic in that thing. It seems scary.
No, he doesn't say that.
Especially when you said they're in that tunnel thing and they can't get out of their Tesla. Oh my God. I would be like, what if you have to what if you projectile vomit? What if you have diarrhea? You're trapped in this box.
Yeah. I advise you not to go with projectile diarrhea. Hi, I'm Dan.
I'm Ken.
And we have a special guest today, Haley again. Might be appearing now and then. She's off camera now. She's shy. But she may hop up on Candy's lap later and give an appearance and an opinion because she's the foremost authority of AI in our household.
What?
She is.
Who?
Haley.
Why?
She's always messing with it, making videos and stuff.
What's wrong with you right now?
Is this all reality? Or just a fantasy?
What is happening?
Candy's already on the struggle bus today, which is good. We're ready to go.
Okay.
Let's get this going. So last week, well, first off, welcome. And welcome back. If you're coming back, welcome if you're new. And if you're new, last week we talked about AI and just some of the fears that were generated.
Oh, I forgot we were talking about AI.
Yeah, we know. Every week's a new thing for Candy.
It's been a whole week. A lot has happened in a week for me. And I'm like, yes. That's what we were talking about.
So we were talking kind of about the history of some of the other innovations of man and how fears have come about from those innovations, electricity, railroads. You remember last week with the railroad video and people's uteruses falling out if they go over 10 miles an hour?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, see, she's starting to remember now. We got to feed her some stuff, and she'll remember. So, but just all these irrational fears that come with new technology. And we were trying to relate that to what's happening now with the AI boom that's going on now. Because it seems like anywhere you look and wherever you go, there's AI videos. Is this real? Is this not? Is this created? We're fighting against the created arts. We need man to be making stuff. Do we want books being written by AI? Do we want movies being made by AI? Data centers, all this other shit. And it's taken over. Are we going to lose all our jobs? And then this, which are all questions that have been asked in the past. So you had technological innovation. So
did they ask if electricity was going to start making movies? No.
Let's take a little break, folks. Me and Candy have to have a private discussion here.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
But they had their questions about what was going on. Is this going to be too dangerous?
Things were exaggerated out of fear. Yeah.
We're playing God now, and we're going to destroy what was created by His, and all these other things that came out. Some rational, some that had some partial truths to it too, when you start dealing with some of the communication stuff of phones and television and movies
but then that's where some legislation needs to come in, right? And it has come in like, hey, you can't do this. This isn't free. We got to put blocks on things so that you can't just access to, there's people putting things out on the television that remember when it was like porn and didn't it get like jumbled or something so kids couldn't see it or something? Wasn't that on the TVs?
Candy grew up in a Christian household, doesn't remember what this was. So in the old days, when you had cable, you had the cable box.
Yeah, I remember that.
So your cord came into the box, and then the box would have all the channel numbers.
We actually had cable.
Okay. So you could hit all the channels.
Yeah.
But all the restricted channels, so the ones you had to pay extra for, would be fuzzy.
Okay, so it isn't just porn.
Or blurred out, or, just whatever. So every now and then you could get to the dirty channels and be like, oh, there's a nipple.
Okay, but see how those legislation, like they had to put parameters around it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay for this channel if you want this.
It wasn't legislation; it was the companies.
Okay, but it was the companies creating parameters. Like, hey, we won't have those be free.
Yeah,
but certain channels were free, right?
Yeah. Well, you paid for it on cable.
No, there was there's basic TV that's free, like CBS, ABC.
Yeah, over the airwaves, but they weren't showing. Those weren't scrambled.
No, I know. What I'm saying is like the parameters that they put in is like people are still going to put this shit out, right? So that's not free. It's not. We're not going to have like little kids watching this. Yeah. So they put some sort of parameters.
Unless your family bought that.
What
channel.
I'm trying to make the point of is, there was this quote unquote bad stuff that comes out with the television, but laws or parameters by a company are put out to kind of protect people a little bit. Maybe not protect people. I don't know if that's the right term.
Well, more so.
So there's good and the evil, but yet there was some controllable.
For the communication stuff, a lot of the fears were that it was going to disband communication as we knew it. No one would talk anymore. Everyone would be through the phone or through screens or whatever, which some of that kind of came true, but we evolved into this is our form of communication now. This is how we can communicate.
It expanded more than anything, right? Now, yes, we communicate in person. Some people do less than others, but we still communicate in person. We still use the telephone. And even when the internet came out, now we use the internet, but we still use in person. Like in person is never going away because we like to be around. We do like each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we like people, I mean, I'm not saying everybody likes everybody, but I'm saying there are people you like. And especially once you get involved in something where you're around people that you do like,
Yeah, and then there's energy exchange in there more so. I mean, you still have energy exchange over the phone or through a podcast or through Zoom or whatever. But I think you get more of it when you're in the room with you can kind of feel it.
There's a different dynamic there for sure. I know, like for me, I don't know if anybody knows of the app Marco Polo, but it's a really good app where I stay in touch with certain people, right? And it's like you're sending like videos of yourself talking, and then they send you, and it's like, then we don't have to catch up when we are in person. It's like we know what's going on in each other's lives. So, I mean, in some ways, it's just made things so much easier. And you can watch it at your own time. You don't have to be on the phone at the same time. It's not like a FaceTime. It's like, hey, I'm going to record a video to send to you where I'm talking to you. And then you can respond back with a video. And it's just, I find it super helpful. And that's something that expanded my relationships. People I can't see as often as I'd like to. Yeah. I can still stay close to.
Yeah. And you lose, and I think people get frustrated because they lose some of the communication the nonverbal communication that happens when you send it. I mean, how many times have you sent a text and someone's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why are you so angry?
That's why videos are kind of nice. Yeah.
So,
but you hear the inflection in the voice and, know, but it's like, you're going to lose some. So text, you have to be mindful. There's a certain way you do it. And, and that's why emojis were created to create those facial expressions through an emoji, to kind of help with the confusion that can happen with a text. Yeah. But so, yes, there's hiccups along the way, and nothing is like perfectly, but it doesn't take away, like community is something we need. It is not a want. Community is not a want. Community is a need. It is you'll crave it if you don't have it. You will crave connection with somebody. And that's just part of being human. Like we're meant to be in community. So I think it's expanded it, not contracted it. Yeah. It's made the world feel smaller. Yeah. Like we can connect with one another, even though we're thousands of miles apart. But there are things that there's good and bad in everything. Yeah, exactly. And when they first come out, it's completely irrational. And we're going to do some more history today. Not necessarily in that field, but we're going to kind of look at the history of some of these businesses that came out here, some recent examples, and how this is affecting, how it can be related to the AI boom that's going on now. Because I think a lot of what's happening is
Well, I won't go into any conclusions yet because we're going to save that for the end. You have to watch the whole freaking thing to get to the conclusions that we come to. But before you get going, one, remember, this is all just our opinions. We're a couple bumpkins in the middle of nowhere, just throwing out ideas. Because I think a lot of this came because you were having some concerns about AI and what it was going to do, right?
Sure.
This guy. And I've just been almost unreasonably calm about the whole thing. I think a lot of
it's you're like that about everything.
That's true. But I think a lot of it is I've seen some of the historical patterns repeat in this also and understand, okay, this is just the next boom thing that's going to happen.
You're able to like ride the wave a little more like, hey, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, because I've seen...
And I think because I'm around you, that helps me because my nervous system tends to be like, what the hell's happening? And especially if I listen to all the little hype that's going on.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the hype is because Americans don't, and I'm going to speak for Americans, they seem to don't have very good long-term memory. 2 weeks is...
I don't think it's just Americans, but yes, that is a tactic.
You couldn't remember what we had for the podcast last week.
Okay, but that's that. To be fair, I'm in perimenopause where the memory short. Okay,
this is good.
I have ADHD. So those two things combined are going to like affect that.
Yes.
But also I'm so busy all the time. It's very hard for me to like every day I've told you feels like full. Like it's hard for me to be like, that was only yesterday. It seems like it happened a week ago.
Yeah.
Because my days are so full of just different things going on.
This is good. It's not a bad thing that there's reasons for it. Like you're saying here.
I don't think it's a
It's not a judgment. It's not a condemnation. It's just there's a reason for it happening.
It came across kind of judgy. I'm not going to lie.
But I didn't mean it as a condemnation of any sort. I'm just kidding.
Did you just wink at the camera?
No. You're never going to watch it, so you'll never know.
I saw it. With my own eyes. Okay.
So, but no, there's reasons for it. I mean, we get really busy about stuff. I mean, I forget things that you told me that morning. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I got to do that, or, oh, I forgot to check on that. So, because other things enter the mind and then it gets busy.
But it is like a thing that, I mean, that's why we have politicians that say in 2 weeks this, because the hope is we'll forget. And we will, especially if there's a lot coming at us, we're going to forget. And that's just...
And I think we're getting overwhelmed with stuff here. So then we start panicking on it and we forget to look at, this isn't anything, nothing's new underneath the sun. So.
Well, also there's movies, and I think we watched did we watch some clips or something of something?
Yeah, we watched, a couple
There's a lot of movies that have been feeding this fear for a long time that like robots. And I remember when we first went into a McDonald's and when I was with my mom, I don't remember. It might have been Black Friday. You know how we'll like go do that. And I remember my mom being like, oh, because she didn't like the self order.
Yeah.
Right. Or you see people like I'll see a lot of older people do not like to go through self checkouts at stores. I honestly don't mind either way.
Yeah.
If it's fast to go with a person, because sometimes it's faster to go with a person, especially if you have a bigger order, or the self checkout. If you have a couple items and it's open, you boom, 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 you out. Great. But they won't use them because they think they're taking jobs away. Now, I don't know that they are.
They're not, because I just drove by the McDonald's by our house over here, and they have a big sign up, now hiring.
Well, that's not proof of what we just said.
It kind of is. If it's taking away jobs, they wouldn't need to be hiring more people. I have
heard that's in some ways it creates more jobs. And there's probably some truth to that because now you have like when you have a self-checkout, you have a person and then you have these rows of self-checkouts and you have people standing there kind of watching that people aren't stealing or if they need help. And so you have that person, but you still have the checkout lanes. I don't know in other cities, our city has like 300,000 people, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And even when we go to Omaha, it's like the same kind of, and they have 1 million people.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's still the same there. But it's like, did that create a new job for the person standing there and they still have the same amount of checkers? Maybe, maybe not. But you also have now these people, remember when we worked in a grocery store and we would go and count we do inventory and we count. Now they have these machines that kind of just run. And then you also have machines that clean the floors.
Yeah.
So is it taking jobs?
Yeah, but that's always been the fear of all this new technology is taking jobs, but it's always created different jobs, and people have moved into different jobs to take care of things. So when tractors got invented, everyone's like, oh, well, now we're not going to need the farm labor anymore because we got all these tractors. Well, they found something else to do. And when we created machinery to do stuff in factories, it's like, oh, we don't need these people. Well, now they found something else to do. So there's always jobs out there to be done, and people are finding them. It's just less manual work, less tedious work.
I mean, some of the things, you want a computer to do. There's a pain in the ass to do. Wouldn't it be great if we could find a robot to scrub a shower, which is like the absolute worst job ever in the world, and removing caulk out of a shower and replacing it. I'm sorry. That is like one of the worst jobs. Painting a room is not fun.
Quick question for everyone. Can you tell what Candy's been doing this last week?
I'm serious. It's terrible.
Yeah. So there's always been that fear, that's one of them that always came up. You're going to lose all these jobs. Well, then there wasn't a bunch of people sitting around, with cups and begging for change. They found other stuff to do, or they reinvested employees in different areas and stuff like that. So jobs came up out of it too. So it eliminated some jobs, yes, but it created other jobs in other areas.
Okay, and that's fair, and I agree that does happen. But I think another thing that's playing, it's not just the AI, but it's in combination with, people throwing out stats like our unemployment's increasing and blah, blah, blah. And so that's scaring people because then they think there is no job. Now, I hear people saying that, there's no jobs to get. But I personally, most people I know, if they've needed a job, they've found one.
Yeah.
So I don't, but maybe in bigger city, I don't know.
We're in a good area for that.
We are? Yeah. Is that why?
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of the unemployment rate has more to do with the economy and political things going on and stuff like that.
Is it more high-end jobs? Are we talking?
No, it's just all jobs in total. I'll say it, and then they'll break down blue collar jobs here and and blah blah blah. So they do break it down a little bit, but they usually just look at the total number. But a lot of that depends on what's happening in the economy. Well, things are going, so you lose some jobs now because. Around here, one of the big things that happened was that they started raiding the meatpacking plants. Well, that was people losing jobs because there weren't, so now they're saying that we're unemployed at that job because we need 400 more workers because all these illegal immigrants that were doing this job are gone. So we're short 400. So now you lost 400 jobs in this. So stuff like that increases that number. And there's a whole bunch of other factors that do whatnot. Businesses just close or whatever because they're just not able to function in the current environment. So it's kind of related, but not really. That's more adjusted by
I just think that those fears are playing into it. And then they're is it AI doing it? Is AI taking over the jobs? And now we don't have work for, but you do want people to be freed up to live creative lives, right? Yes. To actually follow passions and be in a work that you like the grungy jobs that nobody likes. It'd be nice to have a computer that can do it. But then is that taking employment and money to be made from somebody?
Yeah. I mean, in that specific field, yes. But what does that create and opens up in other fields for people to do?
Or what does that free people up? Then their minds expand a little bit and they find something else, or maybe it pushes them to. If you look through history,
we've always adapted. When a technology looked like it was going to eliminate all these jobs, the people adapted and found places to make their money. Mm-hmm. So it's always kind of worked out through history.
Okay, fair.
So with that, I mean, that kind of goes into it too, and we'll get into some of that, maybe not this week or next week, but we'll see because we got a lot to get to here.
Okay.
So, but before we go, I was talking about a video last week about a youngster that doesn't understand the difference between reality and AI. So we will take a peek at this.
All right, so Brooklyn is introducing me to some new music she just found on Spotify. What's it called? Weird, or it's called Fat, but it's from Weird AI, so AI made it.
So Weird AI. So AI made this is from Weird AI.
Yeah.
And Weird AI made a song called
Fat.
And it's funny?
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like from a song like from others. So like
so AI
Thriller.
took
It's like Thriller, they just replaced the lyrics.
Oh.
Gosh, so AI took like Michael Jackson songs and replaced the lyrics. So instead of like Thriller, it's filler.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go. This is Weird AI. How'd you find this?
JC, or my friend.
This is Weird AI.
We'll just play a little bit of this.
This is some Weird AI.
She just
So I
has
think we
no
kind of got
clue,
the
does
gist
she?
of that. So yeah, the old Weird Al song, just misreading it, and we can't blame the child there because
No.
our own
It's a different-
Secretary of Education was calling it Weird A1. We have to have kids learning A1.
Who said that? Which one?
Linda McMahon.
God. Okay. A1 sauce.
She's in charge of the education in
Oh
this
God.
country.
Okay.
So I mentioned that last week. I thought it was a cute little video. But let's get into something here. And let's look at some history of business because I got some notes I took here. I think I got a couple videos.
You look
to go
like
with
Mickey
this.
Mouse when you wear your headphones like that.
So we've had in our world a lot of technology come out and promises of there tends to be unrealistic expectations put out immediately by, especially in this Silicon Valley tech bro field.
Oh, you think they have unrealistic expectations?
When they come out, and there's a few of them that we'll go over some examples on here.
Grandiose ideas.
And a lot of them come down to either being one of two categories in the long run, either being an outright fraud or the real technology is just wrapped in unrealistic expectations. It's just not possible to happen. So one example.
Ever or just now?
Just now. We don't have, we're
Like
nowhere
give an
near-
example of both. So
I will here.
Oh, okay.
In this. So the fraud, let me see if I can find the video on this. There's one famous fraud one. Here it is. Let's see if you reckon. You might not recognize this one, but she's kind of famous.
Day 27, I'm posting a video where a business executive makes a prediction with complete confidence and catastrophically messes it up.
This is what happens when you work to change things. And first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world.
Day 27, I'm posting a video where
So Elizabeth Holmes.
She was
Theranos.
the lady that said that a drop of blood could do give you tons of information just from one drop is all you needed to get.
If you're not familiar with her story, just the boiled down version, she was a student at Stanford and she had a concept. Her concept was, I don't like having all this blood drawn. So any of you that have gone out and had any exams run on you, blood exams, you have to give a vial of blood.
And sometimes multiple.
And sometimes 2-3 vials of blood just so they can test it all. She didn't like that. And I get it. It's kind of
her idea is genius if it could work.
It's
it would
a great
be amazing.
idea.
It would be amazing if it could work.
It's a fantastic idea.
Maybe
So
someday.
She was like, well, what about one drop of blood? And we can run, I can't remember what it was, 47 tests on it, 52 different.
It was just a bunch. Yeah.
There was a whole bunch. And this one machine was supposed to do it all. Right. So she started asking her professors because she was like a freshman, sophomore at Stanford. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea, but we're nowhere near that technology now. And she's like, no, we are right there on the cusp of it. So she dropped out of school because she had this great idea, started it, and then she met up with another gentleman, I can't remember his name offhand, that she ended up having a relationship with. He was her business partner, and they were going to run with this company. And they started this whole thing. got investors, millions and millions of dollars invested into them to develop this. She sold it to Walgreens, that they were going to have these one-stop shops in their all these Walgreens that people could go in just.
So it had never. Why? Yeah, she sold it, but it was never made, right?
They were working on a prototype and it could never came.
Why would an investor invest? I don't know. I've never been an investor, but why would you invest in something if you can't see proof that it exists?
There's been a couple things we've put our time and money into that we're like, oh, that's a great idea.
Talking about like Advocare or whatever.
Yeah, things like that.
Okay, but that was like, there was a thing, here's
sales.
a product. Okay, but she doesn't have a product yet.
She had an idea of a product.
I know. Why would you invest in something if you don't
Because
see the actual, unless she just needed the money to create the prototype and she's like, I promise I could do it.
Wow, you're just really into this now. I mean, you're jumping towards some big stuff here. But this is the whole Silicon Valley thing, because there's so much investment going in. And
people are fast. They want to get on top of it, right?
Billions of dollars getting poured into this tech and innovation. And it's been going on for 20, 30, 40 years, probably since the 80s, and computers started getting more personal and stuff like that, where all this money's going in so you could be the first and the biggest and best. And we're going to go through a couple of these tech innovations here.
Can I make a connection real quick before you go further with this and AI?
Sure.
So are you saying to me, okay, so people wanted to invest early because she needed the money probably for the prototype, right? Or she needed the money, but they were so sure that she convinced them that this is where it's going. Is that the same thing with these data centers? So somebody's convinced them that these things are needed?
Conclusively, you can't say yet. My hunch is very much so. Just based on history and how things have developed and gone. And
there would be these huge buildings that are sitting there wasted.
And we'll cover a couple more that'll tie this together with it too.
Okay.
That leads me to that conclusion, yes.
Okay.
But she wanted all this investment, one, so she can live off of it. Because once they start investing, she's able to take some.
She doesn't want to have to like deliver groceries like I do on the side while she's doing and building another thing.
She can pay herself off these investments because that's what's going into her.
Well, she can put all her time into it, yeah.
But then people started calling in the chips and being like, "Hey, we need to start seeing some actual
machines
going out and running." And they couldn't test 3 different things with 1 drop of blood. I mean, they were
Is it because the drop of blood, then now it's all used and it dried up? Like you need a bunch because you want to run it for this and then you need to run it for this and it can't get all that.
I'm not medical by any means.
Oh, you're not?
I am not a doctor.
You're not?
I'm not. No.
Come on, Mickey Mouse.
But I think what happens is that there's different tests for different things. So if you want to test for this disease, and you have to run it through this chemistry test, which then destroys that sample of blood. So then if you're checking for this and this and this and this.
Yeah, you got to mix it with something to try to that's true.
So now you have to have 1 for each of those tests.
Yeah.
Now if you're trying to say you're promising 50 tests on it, now you have to take that 1 drop.
I would say someday that might be possible, right?
It could be.
As the
testing
as we go along
better,
and it gets
better. I think
better.
that's what the professors were trying to say was.
She was just too quick.
You're just too small of a sample to spread out. Because if you divide that blood drop into half, that's not enough of us. For most tests, the blood drop's not enough.
What she should have done is just like, maybe you can half it. Maybe you can lessen it. Maybe you can come up with some machine that can, test more. Yeah. But she had a big picture idea. She wasn't willing to let it grow. Yeah. Instead, it was like, let's go fast and make a bunch of money. And then,
and why she got in trouble was she knew this wasn't, they were nowhere near it. She could see that this wasn't feasible, but she kept selling it to people.
God, how do you even do that? Like, you'd be so torn inside what you're doing.
She could see it, but I think she still had the night.
She believed
that she could do it.
Yeah. Is she in prison now?
She, I think, just got out recently.
I mean, I can't even imagine. I'm sure she at first thought, "Hey, we can do this," and then she got caught in a huge mess. And
it snowballed, and then the investors were starting to call back, well, we're not seeing any progress on this. So
did she have to pay all those people back?
I think there was hefty fines, and her company went out. Credibility and all that. Okay, I don't have a video for this guy, but this guy is a grifter beyond belief. Trevor Milton. Okay, He had the Nikola company, Nikola.
Mm-hmm.
And his promise is that he was going to take and make hydrogen-based engines for big rigs, trucking companies.
So they would run on water.
Okay. So hydrogen-powered engines are a concept now.
Mm-hmm.
They actually, I know
by
people. By
hydrogen, do you mean like is it water?
Water. You can get hydrogen from water.
Okay.
So, there are machinery that's run by hydrogen. I know people for a fact that are developing hydrogen engines for large machinery. People I know that work in this industry are developing this. So it is that is feasible. But this guy was promising he was going to do this for this whole trucking line. They really hadn't.
And when was this?
This was a few years back. I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't know if I have the dates.
It doesn't matter. Was it before we had developed, kind of gotten as far as we?
It was still kind of in the early stages, but he was selling it big. And he had it sold that it was a fully conceptual model, to the fact that he had a video that he would show people of a truck running down the road on it. And he said, that's a hydrogen powered truck and look at it go.
And it wasn't.
They found out that he towed a truck up a hill and just let it coast down. And that was the video that he was selling. Why would you do that?
Why would you lie?
Because he wanted investors. And he's a grifter. Now I can't remember. He started something up here new again. Someone was calling him out on being like, this guy, this isn't possible. He's a fraud. And that's another case of fraud.
So like when it's considered like a fraud is that it's not.
It's not working, and he keeps selling the investment afterwards.
So she became a fraud eventually.
Because there was no concept of it, but because she actually put machines out in Walgreens, and the machine wasn't doing the testing. They just had this like dummy, I think there was something along the lines of they had a dummy machine in the Walgreens, but then they took the blood sample, and it was vials, and then they shipped them off to testing centers, and then gave results back. And her promise was you'd stick your finger in this, it'd take a prick, and within minutes, you'd have a full readout of any.
God, that would be really good if you could do something like that. But okay. Still great idea if it could, like somebody needs to keep playing with that because maybe someday, right?
So basically with her idea, it was like, okay, stick your arm in here. We're going to pull this needle and pull a whole vial out and then wait a couple days. And then
who was willing to do that?
No, that's not what it was. But basically, that's what was it was the same testing we currently had that she was using, saying that this was the machine doing it, and it wasn't. So, she got in trouble.
So this guy with the hydrogen thing, did he know from the start, or did he think he could do it, or was he just being a con man from the start? Like he knew he was going to trick people.
There's people that fall on both sides that say he was a con man selling.
Probably for her too. There's people on both sides.
And he didn't get in much trouble with it. He never went.
Was he a white male?
Time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Does he have money?
Yeah, and I think he supports a certain candidate too.
Oh, okay.
Adam Newman. Remember WeWork?
Vaguely. This name sounds familiar. What was WeWork?
It was a new way of doing work. So you wouldn't rent offices. It's just how humanity works. So it was kind of like you'd show up at these locations, and that would be your office, and you can work out of that. But it wasn't a rental space or anything. I don't know I can't remember how he was getting his money out of it. But then he ended up being rental spaces for people to come in. It wasn't anything different. He just fraudulently said, no, this is what it is. Now sign this contract for this lease for this place and rented it out to him. But it was supposed to be a community place to go in. I can work out of this area, and we all work together in this big communal thing.
So we might be working for different companies, but we're all... Okay, interesting.
Okay, I think I got one on this guy. Yeah, there we go. All right. Sam Bankman Fried, FTX. Okay, so let's take a gander at this.
Day 37 of confident business predictions that were catastrophically wrong.
Do you still have enough cash if you needed to do another bailout?
Yeah, we did, and we try to keep that on hand. Like we try not to empty the coffer, so to speak. We had a couple billion going into this, and it lines up roughly with the amount that we'd raised, over the last year, and on top of that, we had been profitable.
So $1 billion-ish to deploy.
Yeah.
Day 37
What was he trying to create?
So he was a crypto guy.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of this, and this is a big one to hear recently. It's all the crypto stuff, the NFTs, and all that bullshit.
The NFTs sounded so stupid to me, but
He
whatever.
was a big crypto guy trying to sell this. It was the new way of finance. So remember when Bitcoin and all that started, this was the wave of the future. We're not going to have cash anymore. We're not going to have it. It's a solid economic, financial base. The dollar is going to be obsolete. Everyone's going to be trading off of Bitcoin or Dogecoin or Trump coin or whatever coin that's being created. And he was one of these guys that was pushing all this stuff, and all these other coins kind of fell off. There's only, I think, Doge, and Bit's the big one. Doge is a smaller one, and Ethereum are the main three now
of crypto
that held on. And it's kind of, and there's still people creating coin. You remember Haktua?
Yeah.
She created her own Bitcoin or crypto coin. Trump has his own crypto coin.
What?
All these celebrities were jumping in, getting crypto coins.
What the hell? How does that have any value? I could just make something up out of thin air.
People putting money into it, and then nothing happens with it, and it does. No one buy. No, because
money is like losing any value whatsoever.
Because all these people are like,
this.
"Oh, that's great. This is a great coin. This is going to take off." But if no one accepts that coin as payment, then it has no value whatsoever.
Well, yeah, I know collectively we have decided that the pieces of paper and the coins that we use have value, right? Because they were supposed to be backed by gold.
So
at
there's
one point.
still very little businesses that deal with Bitcoin.
There are some places that will let you buy in crypto.
Yeah.
Which is super weird.
Yeah. No, but it's just an investment thing. But it's pretty solid with the ones that have been established for a while, that it's worth this.
Weird.
But you want to make sure that if you have it, you're selling it high or low, because it is fluctuating massively on how much it's worth. So, I mean, that's one of them weird.
I mean, but if you bought into it and you just hold it for years and years, maybe down the road it will be something.
Could be. And if you look at Bitcoin, it was like, if you look at the stocks, especially early on, it was like whoosh, shot way up, and then all of a sudden just dropped off the table. Then shot way up, then dropped off the table.
Is that how stocks tend to start?
No.
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 Okay.
Some do.
I don't know much about that stuff.
It was a weird one. But another thing in there was NFTs. That was one I never could wrap my head around on why. Why would you buy these NFTs? And especially the big one was Bored Apes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And everyone had these pictures, and I bought this one, and then I go in this one. It's like, there's just a slight variation between the two.
But you could also screenshot and you would have that picture if you wanted. It's not yours. You don't own it, but like, who the fuck cares? It's so weird to me. I mean, maybe there's more to it than we understand.
Yeah.
But I did not understand it.
And that was part of the issue. People didn't understand it, and they didn't see the value in it. So all these people are dumping millions of dollars into this, and they just kind of flushed that down the toilet because it dropped in value so quick.
Are those even used anymore?
No. I mean,
are you sure? You're talking quite confidently.
You never
Remember, he doesn't really know much about this stuff.
I don't know shit. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
But you never hear about it anymore, or anyone saying, "Oh, I have this."
Yeah, but we also are not in those circles where people are like, what stocks do you have? You know,
but people were really touting it there for a while. You'd think they'd still be like, well, my Bored Ape's still worth some money. And there might be one or two that might be worth, but I don't see how they could be worth anything because they were so easily duplicated and copied.
It's super strange.
All you held was a certificate saying you had the original one.
I know, like who?
Or the official one. It's like, okay, great. I got a whole wall of that one because I just printed it off on my computer.
I mean,
and
does it have any value? Like, I mean, it's a digitally created art, right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, there's probably some value to it because really a picture of the Mona Lisa, they were like, oh, that's so valuable, but I can get a copy of that and hang it up at my house too.
Yeah, it's really valuable. Well, I think it's even more valuable now just because it's old.
Yeah.
You know, it was made by someone who's famous so long ago.
Yeah.
But did it have that kind of value in his lifetime? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know.
So I'll skip that one because he's a big one. That could be 4 episodes. John DeLorean, you remember them? DeLorean cars? Back to the Future?
The DeLorean, yeah.
Yeah.
The car?
Yeah. He came out in the 80s and he was going to renovate, or maybe it might have been a little earlier. He was going to revolutionize the sports car industry. And it only lasted a couple years, and people are like, "Oh, that's cool," and then no one bought it.
What was different about it than any other cars?
I think just the doors that opened up.
But don't Lamborghinis open that way? I think they do.
I haven't been shopping for a Lambo in a few years.
I was just shopping last week for one. It's going to be pulling up in our driveway. No, it's that okay.
Looks like someone's delivering more groceries.
Or was he claiming you could go to the future and go to the past?
No, he just got us sold in that movie for it. But yeah, so some of the stuff I got here is like, it was a lot of hype behind it, built up, just like everything, all this hype coming into it. Always struggled financially and it collapsed before it even became viable. So overpromised, way underdelivered, the company collapsed underneath itself. Yeah, that one's boring.
Haley.
So we have all this stuff that's going on. And there was some specific examples of what's going on.
Haley.
One, okay, we'll get into this one. This guy we could talk about him and all his corruption for weeks, but it's Elon. And Elon has a number of things. And to me, my gut's like, it's not a Ponzi type operation that he's doing where he's just staying ahead. So you know how the Ponzi scheme works?
No.
So you get money from people. And you say, I'm going to repay you back. Give me this money. I'm going to invest it in something or put it in here. So then you never do anything with it. You live off that money. These people want their money and their investment back. So then you find more people to borrow more money from, and then you pay back the investment
with that money.
The interest to the people that you already borrow from.
So you're just basically staying ahead.
So then you find more people and you pay off that interest. And then you find more people and you pay off that interest. And then you find more people. This is what our president does a lot.
And you can just live that way your whole life?
Until you finally get caught up and people realize what's going on. Because you get it so big.
But everybody's getting paid. It's just the last people.
Well, you're paying the interest on it. You're not paying the full. Because you're
just like pacify them a little bit.
Yeah, I borrowed $10 from these people. They're like, where's my $10? And you're like, well, here's your $3 of interest. Okay.
Oh, you're not going, I borrowed $10 from this one, so I go to this person, I borrow $20. I can see how it would snowball and get bigger. Like, now you're going to borrow $20. Here's your $10 back. Now I got 10 more, and then I go and find somebody who's got $50 to pay that $20.
You're not paying the full amount back. You're paying the interest or whatever. And then the people are like, wow, this is really turning into something big. Sometimes they even give more later. So then they keep going.
Oh,
but you just keep borrowing to keep paying down.
Okay.
And then you're living high off the hog and hoping you never get caught. But eventually you get caught. Bernie Madoff did. Ponzi, Rella, or whatever his name was.
Is that who he's named after?
Yeah. It was the first one to did.
First one known or recorded about.
It's that they caught and named it after.
So kind of what Mr. Presidente kind of does.
He does that with the banks a lot.
Okay.
He just keeps borrowing more money ahead of it until finally the banks are like, okay.
You have to pay us.
You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. We need to get collection on this and that. Bankrupt. And he's learned how to manipulate that. So
that's one way to do it.
With our friend Elon, he does a lot of, he is notorious for over-promising and way under-delivering on stuff. Thought I had a video of him on here with the Cybertruck. I might not have. Nope, I don't think I do. But you remember with the Cybertruck, he was indestructible when they first came out. And he's, I think, pretty well known for promises all this stuff and then just berates his workers to make sure it happens. And then he puts ridiculously short timelines on it. I'm going to have this brand new electric truck out, fully operational, impenetrable. It's going to be like a military grade vehicle in 4 months. And they haven't even started concept or anything on it, and they're like, that's impossible, and then he's pushing these guys to do it. So then when he's displaying it and they came out, they're like, oh, watch this. You can't do it. And they had a big old like cannonball. They're like, throw it in there. It won't even dent it, and just cracks the whole window. They're like,
and they sent that video out.
This was in the reveal of the truck.
So it was done live in front of people.
Big convention type thing. So then the guy's like, oh, okay, maybe that's just, let's try it in the side, and throws it in there and just puts a fucking hole in the side of the door.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then,
I wanted to see that video.
Yeah. So then, I thought I had it, but I don't. He
keep talking.
keep talking. I'm trying to look at this too. He probably then he's just got giant egg in his face on that whole thing because.
What does he say? Does he say oopsie, or is he like,
oh, we better go back, and just.
Or is he like, oh, something's wrong with.
Trying to
that
make an Elon joke, and then it got released, and people are having so many issues with it. The tires were falling apart. People's fingers are getting almost severed off because the sensors weren't working.
It's so ugly.
If you don't,
I'm sorry, those are ugly.
If you don't turn it to a certain mode when it rains, it'll destroy the whole program in it. And people were taking it to a car wash, and they didn't turn it to rain mode, and it destroyed the whole vehicle.
What?
Because of the sensors on it, all this
like
stuff.
They're exposed and something needs to be covered.
The big thing was he's always promised.
Why you just keep it in rain mode all the time then?
They're supposed to be automated, so they could be driverless. And he's always had that promise on these vehicles, and it's never come to fruition.
There are
now, but it's not his companies that are doing it.
Oh, it's
Other
not.
people created the technology. He still hasn't figured it out on his vehicles.
And they're just hideous. They're so pointy.
The cars aren't. The Cybertrucks are always.
The cars are nice looking.
Yeah.
I will say a Tesla car looks nice, but the trucks are ugly. They are so ugly.
Yeah.
I don't like them. They're so pointy, and I don't find them cool looking cars at all. They look.
So he has.
Did he actually come up with the Tesla truck look?
He probably had a big thing in there because he's a genius and I know everything. But he's overpromised on some things. So.
Oh, like Doge when they came in and he overpromised on that.
The Hyperloop. And people in California can probably relate to this. The Hyperloop was supposed to be this. They're looking for something to connect north and south to California, a quick mode of public transit.
Oh.
Instead of having to drive up the Pacific Highway, I guess. I don't know.
So some
East Coast has rail trains that kind of go from, you can go from Washington, D.C. to New York on one train and do it fairly easily.
For real? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. And there's a lot of that up and down the East Coast. West Coast doesn't have it. But they've been bidding it out, and they gave the bid to Elon for the Hyperloop. And while he hasn't done much on it at all he's done.
Oh, he wanted those little private pods where you just one or two people can go in them, didn't he?
That was kind of what he was promising, something along them lines.
Yeah.
The futuristic type bullshit. Nothing's been built, nothing's been done, but he keeps, because there's been high-speed trains that have been bidding on it too, but he keeps ahead of them on this thing. And then he talks negatively against them all and how bad they're going to be for the environment or for the people, how unsafe and all this. And he never does anything with his own project. He just keeps getting us money for it because he's got the bid.
I don't understand how a human being can be like that. How stressful a life that would be.
Yeah, but that's how he works. He did the same thing in Vegas. They were supposed to have an underground convention connecting thing. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to have all these automated vehicles that are, it'll be easy. You can just hop in there and go.
Maybe that's the thing I was thinking of.
And he built that, but it was just a tunnel that was wide enough for a Tesla to drive down. And that's all he put in there was a Tesla. So a couple people can get into this thing and then drive the Tesla down this tunnel.
Can they get back?
To the next location. And you can't get out anywhere in the tunnel. So if it gets stuck or dies, you need someone to come rescue you out of it because you can't open the doors until you get to the next stop.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But it was this whole...
That would be so claustrophobic. I would not like that, would you?
He built the people of Vegas for so much money to build this high-tech, futuristic thing and completely underdelivered on it and gave him a ton... Oh, that was the Boring Company. They were going to do underground transport.
That's what I was thinking. And what's funny is you hear people talk about people who have billions of dollars, and you'll hear MAGA like sometimes say like, they're such hard workers. He's not a hard worker. He's like grifter. Good at manipulating or convincing people that he's going to do something. Yeah. He's not working hard, but I could see it being a very stressful life because you have to stay one step ahead all the time.
But to be fair to him, he has delivered on some things. So he did really bring the electric vehicle thing to the forefront. with his charisma and everything else. So you see more and more electric vehicles out on the road because he brought it out and was able to. The industry was good in developing a hybrid vehicle, something different than gasoline. They just didn't have marketing. He marketed it for him.
Okay,
basically.
so he's better at marketing.
So he brought that out. He's good at that. He's old. He's great at selling shit.
But that's a job in and of itself. But he doesn't. Instead, whatever.
He through SpaceX developed reusable rockets. All the rockets we'd ever use for things were one-time use. Shoot them up, let them fly, and burn in the atmosphere and drop down, and that was all. Wouldn't be used again.
So now his go up and down?
Yeah, his can do, and he's working on being able to land them too safely. So then they can recapture them, reuse them again and again. So there was something there. And just private space, he's been able to deliver on that. Now he's changed the timeline on shit like moving to Mars and all that, because I think we passed his original first date on, we'll have colonies on Mars by this day. But it's nowhere near.
I'm wondering if some of these guys that are so big, like you got Sam Altman, is he one of them?
Yeah, that's familiar.
You got Musk, there's a few of them, right, that are up there that are these Peter Thiel, you know. I'm wondering if their biggest thing that causes them to push so fast is they are afraid of dying. Do they have a serious fear of death, maybe?
It could be. It could be.
Because they also have this weird bro-like look that they're all kind of going for, right? And, I mean...
They all got the look. They're all doing the same
something.
things.
They look similar to each other in, like, build and whatnot. And I don't know. There's just something like their own mortality is like they're facing it because they're getting older, and it's just like, oh shit, like I don't want to die, and they're probably mostly just thinking, everything ends. They're atheists, probably. I would say most of them, and so maybe there's that. Yeah, they got to try to get it before that happens.
What some of them are starting to go towards.
Well, they're trying to claim Christianity in some weird way. I doubt they believe that stuff, though.
Yeah, there's something else.
You don't think they're just using it? Okay.
We probably won't get to it till next week, but there's something they're getting to.
Okay.
So you got people like that. Elon does deliver on a few things, but he really overpromises on a whole lot of stuff and underdelivers greatly. And he's getting millions and millions of dollars for it because he's got these bids to do it.
He gets a lot of it from the government, though, too.
Oh, yeah. He's lived off the government. SpaceX is funded by the government. Yeah. There's so much government money coming into it, and people are investing into them. But eventually it's going to be like, well, you got to start coming up with some of these promises. You're shooting rockets up and down all the time. That's great. Love it. But we need to see you go somewhere with it because you're promising all this other shit of getting to Mars and everything else, which I'm like, fine. I hope you find a way to get there soon and you can take all you guys and go. Have
go
fun.
Build your place there and
we'll
let
stay
us
here. No, that's fine. Oh, don't leave us here. Oh, it's going to be so miserable. Okay, now we can take over and do stuff. Got rid of them. But we'll kind of wrap up on some other booms and stuff that happened throughout time. So some technology that came through, the automobile was a big boom. Ford created the automobile. And then all of a sudden you had a whole shit ton of people creating automobiles. So you had Ford, you had GM, you had Studebaker. I can't even think half the names of cars that came through.
Yeah.
Actually, I might have a list. So yeah, Brush, Hupmobile, Moon, Marmon, Stanley were some companies that were automakers.
Never heard of them. Yeah.
And what happened?
They all kind of faded away.
They all kind of faded away.
Ford bought them out and swallowed them up.
Or they either got
bought
company
out.
Went under because people got name recognition with the bigger companies, Ford, GM, Chevy, Chrysler in our country, or they just got absorbed into those companies too and bought their concepts. And they just don't exist anymore. So that was a big boom. All of a sudden, there's all these people that were making, and the market's flooded with hundreds of different types of cars and car manufacturers.
Well, yeah, it's like anything. You have a smaller business owner trying to do what these big guys are doing, and then they are like, hey, let me just buy those from you. You got plenty of customers. I'll just buy it from you. I'll swallow you up, take you in.
So,
they get out of debt probably.
So on this, it says there's over 1,800 automobile manufacturers at one point between 1900 and 1925.
Sheesh. They all got swallowed up.
Yeah, well, the market didn't demand 1,800 different car developers.
Well, I mean, would it be better that way though? Because then now you've got just people that become uber rich because they take over and they.
That's the part of capitalism, the market that dictates what's happening. You have so many things out here, and then all of a sudden people are going to be like, well, these are just better, so I'll pay a little extra for that, and
or someone markets better, and they get their name out, and it gets like you think of Crock-Pot.
Yeah,
Crock-Pot was actually the brand of a slow cooker. But now you think of Crock-Pot, it could be any slow cooker, but that brand was the one that marketed so well that everybody knew, Yeah.
Another industry like that's the airline industry. Think about how many airlines there were when we were kids.
I don't remember.
There were a ton of them. And there were a lot of little local area ones. So we'd have one that maybe just was operating between Omaha and Kansas City and Lincoln and Grand Island and just in this area, little puddle jumpers that would go through these little towns here. It just wasn't practical anymore. Other travel, transport got better or whatever. So then started doing it. It got more expensive to fly. So all of a sudden it started dropping. We're still losing. We just lost Spirit. For God's sake, the Christian airline went down.
That was not the Christian airline, was it?
I thought it was after Spirit, but so it didn't work. Here's a big one from recently. It's getting really close to what we're doing. Search engines.
Yeah, Google, Bing.
So here's some examples that used to be out there before Google. Yahoo, Ask Jeeves, Alta Vista, Excite, Lycos, Dogpile, Hotbot.
I don't know most of those.
Yeah. But
Yahoo, I remember.
When the internet first came out, people didn't even know what a search engine was.
No.
And then finally started figuring it out because you started seeing the Yahoo, and all the different advertisements and Ask Jeeves. And
then Google then became now a verb. Google it.
Yeah.
It
Google
it got so
everything.
Either the marketing was really good or it just was a very good product.
Yeah.
It was fast. It just swallowed up all of those.
Yeah. It built its base.
I think some of the other ones still exist. Like Bing still exists.
Yeah.
And you also have like DuckDuckGo, which is more encrypted. It's like there's more like it's not as easy to I don't know. Cookies are different. I don't know all that stuff. But Google is still like your.
They have a better algorithm that gets you more people more of what they want right away. So it builds up.
It just got bigger, faster.
Yeah. It was able to do it and swallowed everything up. There was a huge boom on computers too. You remember we had that, what was the cow one?
Gateway.
Yeah, Dell.
Yeah, Dell. I don't even know if those are still used. Maybe.
Apple and
IBM.
Mac, IBM, yeah. All these different products. Oh, what is the one we had? It was a C one.
Compact.
We had a Compact for a while. But all these computer companies are out there. And now what do you buy?
Yeah, Apple. You get your MacBooks.
You buy a Mac.
Or you have a Mac, or you get
you build your own.
or you build your own. Yeah, but you got Microsoft and Mac. Is that the two?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's all people think of.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you operating under? This is for this or this system. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was another boom that dropped.
So to sum up this, what you're trying to lead into
Good job.
is that AI is very similar to what's happened here in these
What's happening
things.
right now.
That's your hypothesis.
Is very much like what's happening.
So you think it'll get all of these AI things. So like ChatGPT is a pretty big one.
We're in a boom. So there's all sorts of ones out there.
And you got Claude is pretty big.
Claude, ChatGPT, Grok is Elon's.
Yeah, but that one's pretty messed up, isn't it? It's like you could take someone's identity and like
Anthropic, is that one? I can't remember. I had a list down here somewhere.
That's the one that the administration wanted to use, right?
Yeah, that was a pretty strong one. But there's a bunch of them, and there's still people making their own right now.
Yeah, because it's still new. And
So there's a lot of these coming out. So again, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to be like,
they're all going to get swallowed up, and
yeah, well,
it's going
this
to become
one, I like this one. It's comfortable. It's easy to use. I'm familiar with it.
I feel like ChatGPT's on its, like that one's big.
Yeah.
It's just so simple, and the name is simple, and everybody understands what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. They're always updating it, right? They're always making changes to it, but one or two of them will probably rise to the top.
So you have OpenAI, Anthropic, Google DeepMind, Meta AI, XAI, and a whole bunch of other smaller ones.
OpenAI is where ChatGPT is.
Yeah, and you think like you go on anything that Zuckerberg owns, it's automatically Meta AI is going to take you to whatever you want.
Meta. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, and it's like, and there's another one that overpromised everything because he had the metaverse. Remember that? All these people are going to come in here, and it's going to be a new social construct that we go and you get in your avatar and you hang out in my world that I create, and no one went to it
because it's dumb.
Yeah, it was. It was everyone when he first announced. People are like, "Oh, that's kind of stupid."
I think a few people tried it, and they were just like, "There's nobody in here."
Yeah, they did it. And I think there's some people that use it, but it's like
it's not what he promised.
No, it was going to be the new society.
I hope the people that do use it enjoy it, but
transactions
it's not like,
and everything in there, and it was going to be business done through this, and it's like, no, I don't want to do business with a guy.
So they're trying to create like almost like a whole nother world.
Yeah, there's a reason. We'll get into that next week.
I mean,
but yeah, I definitely think just looking through history and what's happening now, how this is developing, and there's this wild, wild west of throwing all this shit out into the market. And it's holding true for the actual, I don't know what you'd call them, programs, but the AI sources that we use, ChatGPT, Anthropic, whatever. Platforms. I think you're seeing it with the data centers. They're all getting built. These things, and you saw videos on this, and I've seen videos on this, they're not necessarily sold as databases yet. These are just people buying land and building infrastructure around it. So then one of these other companies would be like, okay, we'll use that as a data center. So there's
kind of like the airline thing. They would be like, oh, you already have an airport here? We'll use that airport.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would be like people going out and buying airstrips and buying land to build airports and being like, okay, now come land here.
Or we have a car deal. We make these kinds of, oh, you already have a facility for these. Now we're going to switch it, put Ford on it. It's all going to be Ford.
Yeah.
But we'll use your facility because we'll just swallow it all up. I mean, okay, that might be what happens.
And there's so much that's going on because everyone wants to be the first.
Yeah.
And they want to get a piece of this pie. And the hot stuff to get a piece of pie in right now is Silicon Valley and Techne and all that, because that's where the growth is coming from. The innovation's coming from a lot of this tech.
Okay.
So people want to be the first part of it because if it's something that's innovative and it's going to be actually productive and you get on it, you can become extremely rich with a small investment because you hit it right on the beginning. But there's so much of this coming out. And so much of it is failing.
Can you imagine just like living your life chasing these next big thing? Like it just seems like a waste of your life a little bit.
And it's all about salesmanship and being able to sell. There's so much more Elizabeth Holmes out there than there are actual success stories that actually happen because they all operate. Everyone that has a great idea, I mean, you've had great ideas and you're like, this is the greatest idea ever. But they never come to fruition, one, because you have a lot of great ideas.
Sometimes they don't.
But you have a lot of great ideas because you're an idea person, but you just don't have the want to right now.
No, or I'm like, so a lot of times I'll be like, someone needs to invent this, which, speaking of which, remember, I don't know if I ever told you a long time ago that they should invent tablecloths that actually are like fitted sheets. They sell those now. Yeah. It's a known thing. But way long ago, before they were invented, I was like, somebody should invent that. Yeah. I should have been the one.
She's an idea gal.
Yeah. And I've had that with so many things. Before they come out, I'm like, yeah, there it is. Which is fine. Yeah. Like, because I have no interest in making it, but I'm like, this is something that would be nice.
These people have these ideas like Elizabeth Holmes and all the other ones I mentioned that I got this idea. I'm going to do it. Elon with his ideas on, I'm going to put people in tubes and I'm going to shoot them around. And like the banks used to do with money to the tellers.
Does he say like that? Because it seems like I would be claustrophobic in that thing. It seems scary.
No. He doesn't say that.
Especially when you said they're in that tunnel thing and they can't get out of their Tesla. Oh my God. I would be like, what if you have to what if you projectile vomit? What if you have diarrhea? You're trapped in this box.
Yeah. I advise you not to go projectile diarrhea.
I mean, but still, what if you have a medical emergency and you're trapped? Do not write down. What are you doing, Dan? Why do you always write down those? Oh, God.
That's a good one. So, but, yeah, so they overpromise. They're good salesmen. Mm-hmm. They actually, and honestly, I think a lot of them really believe in their idea until they finally try to go to concept. And then reality hits.
But then to keep selling it after that, that's a problem.
Reality, and a lot of them fall off then because reality hits and they realize,
oh God, I messed up here.
We're nowhere near the technology to my dream.
Which to me, I think that's a decent person. If they really believed it, they started to get investors. Fair. You're doing what you need to do, right?
You're selling an idea.
And then once you realize,
people know the risk of that.
And I think a lot of times maybe they do turn out, right?
And, there's a lot of them that are out there like, I have this great idea, this is what it is. And tell me your idea. Okay, do you have any proof of concept yet? Not quite, we're working on it. Okay, well, here's some money.
And they actually go and work on it.
That's the risk of investing on that idea.
Yeah.
Because
investors, that's where the risk is for them, right? Is that they've got a lot of money and
they start doing like the one guy did with Nikola and say, no, we actually have this models made already and they're moving. Here's a video of this truck.
Yeah, that stuff is so deceptive. Yeah. And that I think is wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you should back down and then go to your investors and be like, hey.
And start paying them back, because, hey.
Well, some of these guys have billions of dollars. I don't think you should have to pay them back, to be honest. That's their risk.
It depends on what risk they were actually willing to take.
Yeah. But it's just that's part of.
This was coming through and we're on the road. But there's so many of these ideas come out that it's not practical currently. 20 years down the road, it might be practical. But currently, we don't have the technology to support the idea. And I think that's what's happening with some of this right now is that these guys have these grandiose ideas on what AI is going to do. People are imaginative. They're seeing all this stuff. And right now, there's no regulation on AI. It could do whatever the fuck they want in the AI industry.
Yeah, that's probably a problem.
It didn't make sense from the beginning to do that because we've always regulated.
No, because Grok has is taking people. Yeah. You can put someone on create a body and then they look nude and sell it as this is porn. This person did it. Yeah. And it's their face. And I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah. You can have the Queen of England and Donald Trump getting down doing the nasty.
And it would look real to people. Maybe.
Real. But so there's a lot of this coming out and people are getting into it because this is the hot market to get into and find that next great idea, which AI is the next great idea. And there's going to be some value that comes out of it. But just like we saw with the automobile industry, the railroad, we didn't get into railroads were huge. This was another big one that really, I think, can show us what's happening with AI. There were so many railroad barons back in the day that had these little connective things. So you'd have these little runs throughout the country that would connect here to here.
This track belongs to this guy.
And this and here and here.
So did you pay tolls or if you went on that track?
You'd have to pay a toll if you wanted to use their set of track, but they'd have their own trains running between here because they had to have commerce or whatever, transportation through here. Then someone came and, hey, I want to get through. All right, you got to pay this. And they pay it, whatever. But then bigger companies like Union Pacific started building their own tracks across everything. And these people are like, well, wait a minute. And Union Pacific's like, we built our own. We're going to use our own across everything. And then they weren't using these, and these other guys.
And then these other guys are running out of money, and they're like, hey, we'll buy it from you.
But then Union Pacific's like, hey, no, we can get to you pretty easily. We'll go here and whatever. And then this guy's, and something helped. But there's so many railroads around, then all of a sudden they started shrinking. We have so much AI it's going to be around that all of a sudden people are going to realize this one becomes obsolete because no one's using it. No one's using this. No one's using this. Most people are using this because they have better marketing, better advertising, better usage, better results.
More user-friendly, whatever the market
dictates.
Yeah.
So then it's going to shrink and then be just a couple things like now we just have Google for the most part.
Well, that's why I have a feeling like ChatGPT or whatever, that one stands out.
Yeah.
Most people I know, that's the one that they use.
Yeah, it was easy. It was marketed really well at first. I think Anthropic has got maybe some of the best programming and the
So
best
that's maybe your
algorithm.
more sophisticated things that people are looking for,
Yeah,
maybe.
from what I've
but
heard.
for your average, like the public, I think
Yeah,
ChatGPT
yeah.
or OpenAI or whatever is probably going to
Yeah.
stand out. And
Yeah.
somebody may swallow it up and it be a different name, but it's probably going to come from that
And then
one.
I think you're going to start seeing strict regulations come down here soon on it, which will limit.
I don't know about this administration because I don't know if they have the intelligence.
They're too busy trying to bilk money out for themselves.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but we'll get into more of that next week. We'll get into some of the. We got into some of the people. We'll get a little more into the people and some of their theories behind it and what their
goals are.
Some of their goals are.
And,
one is
and you
specific.
promised to tell me like they have some sort of belief systems that some of them have that they're not.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it? Aliens?
It deals with Elon's grandpa, what he used to believe, and what Peter Thiel's looking for, and
well, I think Peter Thiel's talking about Jesus returning, isn't he?
not quite.
Oh,
He's got a different skew on things, so we'll get into that.
You
next
know, they're
week,
just
so.
using all that stuff to induce fear, but whatever.
Again,
they don't really believe it. I honestly do not. Whatever.
No, I think they do because they are the Elizabeth Holmes. What Elizabeth Holmes was one drop of blood, these guys are to AI. It's going to do miracles and everything else. So we'll get into that next week. But I think a lot of the fears can be alleviated because of history and what's going on and what we can look back to. At least that's where I rest a lot of my comfort in. Oh, this is just the next tech boom thing. So we'll just have to ride this out, and then it's going to take care of itself. In essence, so
well, I think having these conversations are good because it does calm my nervous system a little bit, and so it probably calms some other people's.
Yeah.
Just to say, like, hey, we've been here before, we made it, and we survived it, and things calmed down, and I think that will happen again. We just need to like trust the process, basically.
It's not the end of the world. So, and we'll get into some of that not in the world with our friend Neil.
Okay.
He has a couple ideas on it too. So
I like him.
That comfort too. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like, smash that subscribe, and follow. We'd appreciate it greatly. If you're listening on an audio streamer, Spotify, Apple, 5 stars, we'd appreciate that. Both those things help move us on all those platforms and helps get us out to more people. And then if you want to get a hold of us for more stuff, just go down below in the description and we'll have a link to danandcan.com, and that's where you can connect with us, find out what we're doing, and you can just get a hold of us, email us, and all that good stuff. So do any of that and come back next week. We'll talk about some of the religious aspects maybe of what these guys are thinking and some of their belief systems and where this has come from and stemmed from, and
okay.
And then kind of conclude with what's really going to happen with AI.
Because we know.
Well, no, but some other smart people do that we'll listen to their videos on. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. And that's all Candy's got for you today.
Oh, thank you for speaking for me.
That's what I'm here for. I'm your husband.
Hopefully it makes you feel a little bit better about AI. And if not, just don't listen to anything we say.
Just drop to your knees, say a prayer for God to protect you from the evil AI, and end it with, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Bye.
Bye.